Well, as we mentioned, President Biden today will meet with leaders of some of the biggest banks to discuss a potentially devastating default. Citi's Jane Fraser, JPMorgan Chase's Jamie Dimon, and Brian Moynihan of Bank of America are among those who will attend the meeting. The White House is pressuring Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell to back off his refusal to help Democrats raise the debt ceiling. Meanwhile, we're seeing a strategy shift from the White House about Biden's wide-ranging social spending plan. The Biden team is trying to tell progressive Democrats to temper their expectations on that $3.5 trillion plan. Advisors are weighing liberal policy priorities against moderates' concerns about inflation and tax hikes, as well as implications on what this could all mean for the 2022 midterm. So joining us now to discuss is Bloomberg Government's Emily Wilkins and also Bloomberg Senior Markets Editor Mike Regan. Thank you both for being here. Emily, let's just start with you. A vote is expecting on Capitol Hill today. From what we know, it's dead on arrival. But what do we know about what the Republicans might do today?
So the vote is expected later this afternoon, and at this point, we expect all Senate Republicans to vote against this measure. This is a procedural vote that would then lead to a vote on raising the debt limit until 2022. But we're not expecting Republicans to vote on it. Republicans have said for months that they will not be voting on it. And then the ball really goes back into the Democrats' court. What are they going to do to raise the debt limit before that October 18th deadline? They don't really have a lot of options left. And even though Democrats have said that they will not be using reconciliation, that process that allows them to move legislation without Republican support, that's looking like one of the very few potential avenues that they have at this point.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, I mean, the Democrats, Chuck Schumer has said he does not want to do reconciliation.
He doesn't. And part of that is because to raise the debt limit via reconciliation, they can't just say, OK, hey, we're going to suspend it till 2022. They actually have to put in a number, a very, very big number. And Democrats are worried that when that comes to the midterm elections or even future elections, that they could be hit by Republicans saying, hey, they increased the debt limit this much, it's reckless spending, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Granted, Republicans don't want to go over the debt limit. They've raised it in the past. They know what the dangers are if the country defaults, but they see an opportunity here to win some political points. And at this point, it seems like they've got the coalition to do so.
Right. And as we watch the clock tick closer and closer to this deadline, we don't even know if there's time for reconciliation. Mike, we want to bring you in here. A lot of people are talking about comparing this time to what happened in 2011. Of course, we didn't end up defaulting at that point in time. But can you just walk us through sort of what's at stake and what the markets are looking at this point in time?
Yeah, Jennifer, I think a lot of the investors and strategists I've talked to and the notes I've read, originally they thought this is just brinkmanship. There will be sort of an 11th hour deal that will avert a default. But every day that goes by, the confidence in that outcome is getting chipped away slowly by slowly. To your point about the 2011 experience, we saw the stock market take a big drop, about 19% for the S&P 500. It took about 7 months for the market to return to highs after that incident. Paradoxically, you saw Treasury yields fall as people bought Treasuries for the safe haven, even though the rating on the debt was downgraded by S&P as a result of the politics. It's not clear if that exact scenario will unfold this time, because there are many other things on the market's mind, including this energy crunch around the world that we're seeing that is really raising inflation expectations, and along with it, bond yields in a lot of places. So this is a very serious situation. It's getting more serious day by day. And back to your point about 2011, even the threat of a default in the U.S. Treasuries, the world's sort of benchmark safe asset, even a threat of a default is enough to really roil markets for some time. So it's one of many things that's causing this turbulence. It's likely to become a bigger and bigger focus the longer this drama stretches out.